With the Oscars in a few weeks, let's start ranking some of the nominated films. We'll start with one of my favorite categories, the Best Animated Feature Movie, and we'll start ranking these live. Honestly, I probably would have done a top 5 animated films list for the year, but honestly, these are probably my top 5 animated films that I saw from 2024. So with that being said, my number 5 film is going to be Flow. I think this is a gorgeously animated. It is so cool that this movie was animated using Blender, and I've never seen it done before, and it looks really good. You can tell that while it's a little rough around the edges, it adds character and an existentialness to the film. It just goes to show you that you don't need the best animation technology to make a really good movie. You just need good storytelling, good characters, and an artistic lens. It's a movie with completely no dialogue, and it just tells you like this really spiritual movie that is enjoyable from beginning to end. You get to see animals in their natural habitat and how they react, and how coming together and forming a community is so important in survival. Number 4, it's Wallace and Gromit, Vengeance Most Foul. I grew up watching the Wallace and Gromit shorts from a very young age, and I enjoy them very much, especially the Lost Trousers. And it's so cool that they brought back a villain from one of those shorts, and they continue the story off from where it left off. And with Curse of the Were-Rabbit, Wallace and Gromit has already won an Academy Award, but I actually found Vengeance Most Foul more fun. Like, it's entertaining, it's witty, it's charming, its storytelling is just a lot of fun. I love how Aardman always infuses their films with their brand of British humor, and it just adds a certain level of charm that we don't get from American animated film. And this one is a celebration of Wallace and Gromit and their like storied history. And it's just such a good and wonderful, entertaining, fun movie. Number 3, I didn't think Pixar could make a sequel that was as good as like the Toy Story sequels, and they did it with Inside Out too. This movie is wonderful. The animation is gorgeous, the storytelling is gorgeous. I love how they aged Riley up and brought all these emotions into the world, and the new additions are really good. The manifestation of anxiety and Riley trying to deal with it is all of us. We've all been there. While I don't think this is as good as the first Inside Out, it is pretty darn close, and I do think it's funnier than the first one, and I love some of the emotional moments in this movie. It's just a great sequel, and I can definitely see another Inside Out 3 coming out, and us falling in love with these characters. Number 2, Memoir of a Snail. This is probably the most unique and most somber movie on this list. If you take it out of context and I was to describe the plot to you, it would probably sound like the most depressing animated film to watch ever, if not the most depressing movie to watch ever. But what's so wonderful about this movie is that it throws all these adversities at the main character, and she has to overcome it, and it shows that even in like the bleakest moments in your life, there are good moments, and you should not stop fighting for yourself. Find the right people around you, make the best of your life, and never give up. The animation, while rough around the edges, feels super well crafted, handcrafted, and there's a human element to it throughout the whole film, and it's just a beautiful story, even though it's kind of sad. And obviously, the number 1 film is The Wild Robot. This movie is amazing. It transcends movie and genre and everything in between. It's funny, it's charming, it's beautiful. It has a great message about community. It has a great message for parents. It shows you that isolation can only get you so far, that we need to create community and help each other out. It's just such a beautiful movie, especially in these trying times, and it just has a killer soundtrack. The animation is gorgeous. Every frame of this movie is a work of art. I just adore this movie, and the Academy are cowards for not putting this movie in the Best Picture category.